Good morning, everybody. Good to see you all. I hope you all had a chance to read the centering thought. Thank you for joining us this morning. Welcome to our Sunday morning gathering at Summit Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. We are so glad the 40 or so of you have decided to join us. And those of you on Zoom, welcome also. Summit is a liberal religious community bound together by shared principles drawn from world religions, humanist teachings, nature and science, philosophy, and personal practices. We aspire to be a religion of love and inclusion. The mission of Summit is to commit ourselves to building a more compassionate, just, and sustainable world. If you are new to Unitarian Universalism or to Summit and would like to know more about us, we invite you to go to our website, summituuf.org. We acknowledge that our fellowship resides on unceded Kumeyaay land. The Kumeyaay have lived on this land for 10,000 years, and it is their home today. We recognize the abusive history of colonization in California and are mindful of our duty to responsibly act from our position of privilege. We have a few announcements today. I think Margot, Mary, and Shannon. Should we go in alphabetical order? Mm-hmm. I think that would be tough. Mary, you're closer. Margot, yes.
Good morning. I'll go from the mic. Good morning. I just want to make a quick announcement that this afternoon, following the service, starting at 11:30, there's going to be a gathering in the RE area for all ages for the start of our Summit Adventurers Club. We're going to be doing Dungeons and Dragons style gaming, and today we're going to start with character building. This is not just for children, people. It's for all ages. So if you're interested, come on over between 11:30 and 12. And we're going to have a quick little meeting and sort of talk about what we want to do, and then we're going to start working. So it's going to go till about 2 today. So I'm just letting you all know that this is the ground floor if you want to get in on the adventure.
Good morning. Happy autumnal equinox to everybody. Just want to remind you that next Saturday, the last Saturday of the month, the poetry workshop meets. All levels of writing welcome. It's to discover, even if you don't use poetry as your form of writing, how you can get in touch more with your creativity through poetry, find to say more in fewer words. Just play around with words and have a good time and refine your imagination. So it's from 10 to noon on the 28th of this month, and usually it'll be the last Saturday of the month. The next 2 months we may have to make adjustments because of the holidays. Any questions, be in touch with me if you like. Talk to me after service, or my number's listed in the bulletin. Thank you.
Good morning, dragon lovers. My name is Shannon Allen, and I'm one of the co-chairs for the Summit auction in the Year of the Dragon. We are still collecting business donations. We have about 7 more that we're looking for, and we still have this board out back on the table for you to grab some ideas, and your favorite business can be our favorite business. The Year of the Dragon auction is going to be in November, and we are collecting donations from people now. So we can't wait to see what kind of ideas you come up with. The number 8 is lucky in the Chinese tradition. The color red is also lucky. Does anybody need a donation form? They are on the back table if you'd like to pick them up. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Thanks so much.
It's real easy. Just pick one of the little notes and take it with you and do what it says. Thank you.
Happy Sunday. I'm Erin from the Social Justice and Action Committee, co-chair. We meet the second Sunday of every month, and we work on issues here in the community regarding social justice. I just want to make an announcement. Next Sunday, our service will be sponsored by Social Justice and Action Committee. We'll be talking about topics such as mental health, access to care, grief and loss, the unhoused, and things that we can do here in the community. We're going to be offering referrals and resources, so please show up. Also, the majority of the plate donations will go to SJIC. Myself and Chris will be speaking. Chris, do you want to say something or no?
I guess I'll just add that I will be covering LGBTQ resources specifically for the trans community.
And one final thing, we are wrapping up our postcard campaign for voting to get voters out to vote, especially in North Carolina and Georgia. Natalie, who's been helping us, has her special vote shirt on today. And I want to thank you all for helping. Raise your hand if you helped write postcards. Wow. So let me give you the grand total. And by the way, we have about 30 more to be written, so please see Natalie for that last batch. The grand total of postcards is around 701, and we had over $300 of stamp donations. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Just a few quick things. On behalf of the Welcoming and Membership Committee, Jim Weed is out today, but I am reminding everyone that 2 Sundays from now is our new to Summit meet after the service. It'll be in the library next door. Lunch is provided. If you are new to us, would like to get to know us better, if you'd like to get to know new people, that's a really great time to come and do that. That does come the week before our new member service. So if you've been thinking about joining Summit as a member, that's a really good way to get your questions answered. I will have the membership book with me today, and the 6th and the 13th, I think, is the one after that. So please come and attend that. Our grief group next month has to get pushed back a week. So instead of it being the 2nd week of the month, it will be the 3rd week of the month. So if you're planning on attending grief group, please make that change accordingly. And you noticed that I was wearing a mask today. Our numbers in California of COVID infections have been increasing. Our wastewater is quite heavy with it. You are not required to wear a mask. I am encouraging anyone who feels comfortable to do so, please wear a mask. I'll be wearing one as a way of modeling. If you need one, we have some in the back, we can get you one. And we just want to remember that when we do things like that as Unitarian Universalists, it's part of living our values and helping keep ourselves and our community safe. Thank you.
I lost it. Where'd it go? Okay, for some reason, the chalice lighting words went away. So I'm not been having any luck with technology in the last few days. Okay, that's bigger, so that's better. Okay, thanks. We light our chalice as a symbol of gratitude as we celebrate the abundance of our lives together. In this sanctuary, we harvest bushels of strength for one another and offer our crop with the hands of compassion and generosity. In the authentic and gentle manner of our connections, we cultivate a simple sweetness to brighten our spirits. May we be grateful for the ways we nourish and uplift each other, for it is the sharing of this hallowed time together that sustains us. Please stand as you are willing and or able for the UU hymn. Thank you. love be the spirit of this fellowship. May the quest for truth be its sacrament, and the service be its prayer. Dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, and to help one another in fellowship. This is our aspiration.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Pastor Casey Marie Pandell. It is my honor and pleasure to be the minister here at Summit Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Whether it is your first visit or your 5,000th visit, you are whole, you are holy, you are loved, and gosh, you are so welcome here. Our reading this morning are words from Swiftwalker entitled Gratitude. Let's start with the people we love and those who love us. Thankful they are in our lives, obliging us to open our hearts. Let us open our hearts to embrace the earth, the sea, the soil, the stars, blessed by bold beauty, the bounty of being. Then, with hearts open to beauty, let us embrace the arts and the generation of learning that we should have wisdom. Let what wisdom we have, wan and wanting, lead us to strive so the 7th generation hence can live more fully. It is in that work and that alone that we can express our thankful spirit. May we make it so. For the opening to make it so, let us be truly grateful. Welcome to worship. Our joys and concerns can be emailed or texted to myself or our worship chair, Stacy Sasaki, throughout the week. They can also be handwritten up near the chancel on a Sunday morning. All are welcome to light a candle, whether they choose to share a joy spoken aloud. I have two for you today. Jenny Saar shares a joy, concern, and sorrow. Today is World Rhino Day. Her joy is that white rhino and black rhino numbers are up a little bit this year. Is that what the 34 is for? There's 34 of them? Is that what that is? Oh, I see now. I should have clarified that a little better before the service. Her concern and her sorrow is that Sumatran rhinos are only at 34, and Javan rhinos, there are less than 50. So while we rejoice in some numbers raising, we remember that it's more complicated and there's more work to be done. And Barbara, one of our musicians, shares the wonderful news that in the early hours of September 20th, her granddaughter, London, was born. So she'll be off in San Francisco, grandma it up with baby London. And we remember that not all joys and concerns are able to be shared today. Whether those too big or too tender to share, we hold you in our hearts. And I would like to invite our Director of Religious Exploration, Mary Carter Vale, to the pulpit.
Good morning. Happy fall equinox. So if anybody wants to come up and help me, you can. I could use some helpers. I need helpers to hold the world and helpers to hold the sun. Oh, I've got a helper right here. One of my former RE kids, all grown up and adulting, Miss Stacy. All right, who wants to be the world? Oh, Phoenix first. I saw another hand over here. You guys want to hold the sun together? The sun's hot. It takes a lot of people to hold the sun. It's glass too, so be careful. There's actually a disco ball under there from a previous auction. I'm just telling you. we reuse things. So my story today is an invitation to gratitude. And invitations are our theme this month. And today, or yesterday, was the fall equinox. So I want to show you what that means. Do you guys know what the equinox means? Okay, so let's move. So the sun's over here and the earth is over here. And the earth is tilted, right? It's tilted in the way it relates to the sun. You can spin it gently. So the earth's tilted and it spins in the way it relates to the sun. And we have, do you guys know what the solstices are? So the winter solstice, which is right before Christmas, is when the sun, when our part of the earth, the northern hemisphere, is tipped away from the sun. So we have really dark nights. Do you remember getting out of school and going to bed when it was dark? Right, or having to go to bed really early, or getting out of school when it's dark. Yeah. And then the summer solstice, which is in July, or June, we face more towards the sun. So that's when it's light out at 9 o'clock at night. And you're like, why do I have to go to bed? It's still light out. But right now it's the equinox. And what that means is that the sun's rays are hitting the earth right at the equator. So everybody's getting the exact same amount of sun. So the nights and the days are what? Equal. Equal, hence the word equinox. So the same amount of daytime, same amount of nighttime. So they're balanced. And after the equinox, the days, because we're heading towards the winter in the northern hemisphere, the days are going to start getting shorter, and the dark is going to be getting longer. Okay? So you want to put the solar system back down, please? Thank you. There we go. Our mini. We're missing several planets. So why do we talk about gratitude with the equinox going into winter? You may know. There's two reasons. Well, one is science, and the other is mystery. Now, I am, for those of you, some of you may not know, I'm a Unitarian Universalist witch. I am ordained as a high priestess in a Wiccan tradition. And we celebrate on this day something called Mabon, which is the celebration of what, Stacy? Do you remember? It's for the harvest.
Oh, the harvest.
Harvest.
Moon.
Yes, the harvest moon. Did anybody see the harvest moon last week? Gorgeous harvest moon. Absolutely beautiful. We had a little tiny mouse cookie bite out of it with the eclipse. So it's the harvest time. So if you lived in the northern hemisphere and the nights and days were equal and then the days started getting shorter, how would you might feel? The nights are getting longer, days are getting shorter, it's getting colder. Finally got a little cool here, right? And you might get, you okay, darling? So you might be a little nervous. Like, wait a minute, where's the sun go? Because what does the sun provide for us? Light. And if you were an early ancestor, it would also grow your food, right? You could find the animals that you were hunting for food. So when it starts to get dark, the nights are getting longer, it could be scary. So yeah, you like spinning that? So we call this the first harvest. So when you harvest something from the ground, you're trying to save it, preserve it, and you also want to be very grateful for it, because that might be all the food you had for the whole winter, right? So gratitude. This is a time of gratitude. We have Thanksgiving at this, coming up, and there's a lot of harvest festivals. It's a time for gratitude, to be thankful. The summer abundance is ending, although in California we have abundance all year long. In Southern California, we're pretty blessed. But the abundance of heat is ending, so we can be grateful for that. So I want everybody to just take a moment and think about what you're grateful for. So great and full. Grateful means something. Just think about it. Hold it in your heart, what you're grateful for. Just take a moment. Breathe it in. Yeah. Just hold that. This is the time of year for gratitude. And I hope you all have your beets harvested. No, it's okay. We have grocery stores. We don't have to worry about hiding up the food for the winter. So that is what I have for you today, to be full of gratitude, be grateful, and enjoy. Watch the earth turning, watch the sun moving, because that's a way of connecting to our beautiful planet. And how many planets do we have to live on?
One.
Only one. Let's take good care of it, right? Yes. Would you like to carry our planet back? You want to carry it? Okay. Phoenix, you want to carry the sun? All right, and we're going to head off to our classes.
And now I would like to invite Duncan Matthew, our Director of Music across Summit. I have nothing else to add to that like I would with Mary, sorry. And our Summit Choir for us to hear some wonderful singing.
Listen to the rain.
Beautiful, beautiful work. Thank you. And now I invite you all, as you are willing, into a time of guided prayer, meditation, or reflection as I share a guided meditation from former Unitarian Universalist Association President, Reverend Susan Frederick Gray. I invite you, as you are willing, into this time of meditation and reflection and into this practice of gratitude. If you like to write as a way of reflection and you have a pen and some paper, you are invited to do so. It's also okay to just find a comfortable position to sit in, however is most comfortable for you and your body to help you feel at ease. First, I invite you to take a few relaxing breaths. In and out. Feel free to close your eyes if that is most comfortable, or to leave them gently open. Breathe in a way that feels comfortable and relaxing. I invite you at first just to pay attention to your body. If there's a place of tension or pain, imagine breathing your breath into that part of your body. Imagine the breath expanding that area of tension and then breathing out through that pain or tightness. Feeling the muscles release with the out-breath. With breathing in, expand your attention to any area of tension. Breathe out through that area, letting the tension go. Breathing in through areas of tension and letting go of that tension or pain if you can. Now I invite you to bring your attention to your heart space, to your chest, maybe your abdomen if you prefer. Gentle breaths. Breathing that feels natural and relaxing. Just be aware of anything that you are feeling. If you are feeling calm, joy, or peace. If you're feeling sadness, grief, or anxiousness, just be aware of it. Breathe alongside that feeling. Offer yourself compassion for whatever may be present to you right now. As you continue to breathe, ask yourself if there is anything or anyone you're really feeling grateful for. Ask yourself in your heart, who or what are you grateful for? Is there anyone who's caring for you, showing you care, inspiring you, comforting you? Anyone who you love that you are grateful for? Hold that person, those people, visualize them. Hold them in the gratitude that you feel for them. Breathe in that feeling of gratitude. Breathe out that gratitude for those loved ones. I invite you to take a few more breaths. And as you do so, I invite you to think about anything about this day. Anything that's happened, anything that you're looking forward to. If there's a window nearby, maybe you can see some sky or sun or tree. Just be present in this space. Take it in. Hold in your attention anything that you are grateful for from this day, that you're grateful to be looking forward to in this day. Anything that is present in you right now. I'm giving thanks for so much sunshine and cooler days after our long, long heat wave. Just hold that gratitude and that attention in your heart and in your mind as you breathe in and out gently. Take a few more breaths and imagine opening your heart space wide and asking if there's anything else you're grateful for. Your friends, community, faith, connections that you appreciate and feel attentive to. Open your heart to the other things in your life and this moment that you're grateful for. Hold those in your attention. Breathe in that feeling of gratitude. Breathe in, imagining or holding in your mind those people, those things, those connections, and breathe out that gratitude. It's okay if some of our relationships are mixed with other emotions besides gratitude. Be present to that too. Breathe it in and breathe it out. And as you continue to breathe, take a moment to hold in your attention all these connections, all these relationships, all these gifts that you are grateful for. Bring them to your attention again together. Breathe in the gratitude you feel. Breathe out gratitude across connections. And as you are ready, as you continue to breathe gently, you can bring your attention back to this time, to your body, to each other, gathered here in meditation. And as we close our meditation and as you breathe gently, offer a word in silence or out loud or spoken, a word of gratitude for these gifts. Blessed be and amen. There's a nonprofit charity that I think everyone in this room and at home should be familiar with, based out of Chicago, Illinois, known as Immerman Angels. Immerman provides one-on-one, no-cost support for cancer patients, survivors, and their caregivers. They match mentees with mentors based on a number of factors, including age, gender identity, religious affiliation, cancer type and stage, and relationship to patient. My late boyfriend Dan had been a mentor in life and was thrilled when I finally admitted, after many moons of being ever the caregiver, that I think I needed my own mentor too. Almost 8 years have passed since that time. My mentor Megan and I are still tangentially friends. We see each other's Instagram posts and like them. And I'm proud to say that as of last week, I have my first mentee. We connected via email earlier this week, and she specifically asked about my experience as someone in a romantic relationship with a cancer patient. I thought a long time before responding to her, wanting to balance being supportive of her while trying to tend to her wonderings without making it too much about me. Luckily, I do that for work, so that wasn't too terrible. In the end, I think one of the most crucial things I was able to share with her was what got Dan and I through those hours and hours of hospital days. The bottles of chemo that made eating difficult, and the blurs of doctor visit after doctor visit. Dan always tried to stay in good spirits, I told her. Not in a fake social media, everything is amazing kind of way, but in a quiet gratitude sort of way. No matter how bad he felt, he was always happy to know that he got another day, another breath, another chance to laugh and to love, and we told a lot of really bad dad jokes. It's by no means a coincidence that I carry that same value of gratitude into my daily life and to my ministry. I call it a part of my spiritual practice, but even on my worst days, when a migraine is so splitting I can't see straight, or I'm so frustrated that the words of a sermon are eluding me that I could cry, I take a big, deep breath, sometimes several, and then I remind myself that in another universe, in another timeline, my life could look so very different. And I could very well still be working customer service jobs that I so monotonously trudged through. Yes, I have lost a lot and grieved a lot to get to this point today. But because I had a wonderful example of genuine, measured gratitude, I've been able to find myself in a place that I am genuinely pleased and proud to be. I have gratitude for where I have been, and gratitude for where it has brought me. Of course, I don't tell you this story as a means of a humble brag, far from it. And I also don't tell the story lightly. I by no means intend to suggest that we should be grateful for all of the bad things that happen to us. It's bad ministry and, frankly, really bad advice. But it was a really active choice for me to turn the terrible hand that I had been given into something that I could do more than just live with, but thrive because of. Do I hate that I know the pain of the death of my partner? 100%. Am I grateful that I can more readily accompany people in their grief because of it? Every single day. Mabon is one of the 8 pagan Sabbaths, and though only dating back to about 1970, it has its origins in the ancient harvest festivals of old. Of course, I don't think many of us today are doing much harvesting, although I know we've got some gardeners in here, and I'll call that close. But I think that's kind of the point. It's less about the work of the harvest and more about the gratitude for the abundance that the harvest would bring. So these days, we spend an awful lot of our time worrying about the what ifs, the what nows, the what nexts, and we don't really stop long enough to think about what isn't and take stock of what is. And it's not our fault. Capitalism, for one, is designed to keep us from reflecting too closely on the world in which we actually live in an effort to strive for more. More money, more stuff, more power. But I wonder if an entire celebration based around harvesting gratitude is really a bid for us to slow down, to notice, and just be. Some of the ways that one can celebrate this Sabbath seem to indicate such. Whether celebrating solo or as a family or with friends, there is encouragement towards taking the time to nourish our bodies. And it's less about what is cooked than what we do with the time slowing down and being together offers us. Potlucks in the yard, meals around the table, or picnics at a bonfire, whatever catches your fancy. The company and the intentional time spent are what matter the most. Cleansing and decorating our homes with season-appropriate decor allows us to take pride in our space, allowing us to slow down and make time to enjoy our abodes, to really care for and live within them instead of just passing through. Gratitude journaling, reflectively sitting with ourselves and our thoughts and not just giving a passing thought to things that we are grateful for, but actually taking the time to write them down and see them in print. All of these things require us to slow down, not to rush through the world from one moment to the next, but to get as close to stopping time as I think we really can, and savoring this one divine life that we know without a doubt that we get. And maybe a practice like this feels uncomfortable or perhaps a bit disingenuous. After all, I don't think it's something most of us even think too hard about, let alone make the habit of actually doing. And that's okay. There's not a rule book or a manual for how to practice gratitude. A good, honest effort of reflection and thankfulness is far more important, and I would argue fulfilling, than a picture-perfect one. Today's meditation was an effort to slow down with all of you. We don't need to proclaim out loud what we're grateful for, though if you feel so moved, there's no reason that you shouldn't, especially when a few spoken words or a quick note to a loved one can mean the world. Unitarian Universalists are notorious for being all head and not as much heart. And that soul stuff can feel a little like stretching an aching muscle when you haven't moved in a while. It's an effort to look within ourselves and outside of ourselves, with the understanding that anything worth being grateful for is absolutely worth celebrating, even the smallest things. Perhaps especially when we are in pain, when feeling like celebrating is the last thing we could possibly want to do. For my own part, because I like to model if I'm going to ask you all to do something, I'm grateful for Zeus and Vulcan, who keep my heart full and my spirit joyous with their love. I'm grateful for a good, warm relationship with my parents who support me in my every endeavor, even when I went from atheist to minister in about 3 years flat. I'm grateful for the laughter and love of friends who keep me grounded and supported. I am grateful for a vocation that stretches and challenges me into being the best version of me I could possibly find to be, and more. I am grateful for having had a love that was so great that even with the loss of it, it helped something magical blossom. And I am grateful to bring that magic to all of you every day that I am a part of this beautiful community that, yes, I am deeply grateful to be a part of. I'm not going to hit you with a PMA all day. That's positive mental attitude if you've never heard that before. I won't social media influencer you into a snooze, and I'm not going to give you empty platitudes. Oh, at least you've got XYZ, it could be worse. I won't embarrass myself or insult any of you by pretending that gratitude will save the world. This is just an encouragement for this simple practice to be more than an occasional one. Like learning a new language, it takes more than a passing thought. But on those tough days where things might feel bleak, a well-oiled practice of gratitude can be the lifesaver when it feels like you're drowning, and the solid foundation to settle on when you feel like you can't gain purchase. We are worth taking stock of the good and the wonderful that we not only receive, but that we freely give away to each other. And if anything, it's a good, practical habit to remind us that there is always good in this world. Sometimes we just have to find it. So may it be, and amen.
Well done. I'm grateful for you right now. It's time for the offertory. Let's see. Let me get my papers here. Your Sunday morning offering is a gift that provides Summit UU Fellowship the financial resources to help build a better world together. The smallest gift is welcome. For those of you on Zoom, the link can be found in the chat box. Please select the Sunday plate option to allocate your donation to the appropriate account. Thank you. I know we're all grateful for you, Karen. I sure am. Thank you all for being here today. Am I doing this right? We have another hymn first. Okay, that figures. Okay, sorry, I lost my, oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, sorry, folks. It's all marked. Okay, I'm friggin' lost. I took my glasses off too soon. Okay. Huh? 336. All my memories of love. Okay.
as always, we remember why we come to a community like this. If you didn't want to be grateful for this place that you have grown together, you wouldn't be here today. You'd be at home in your PJs with a cup of coffee and maybe a dog on your lap. I am so grateful to see this community grow and change and stretch and challenge itself, because each one of you is worth it, and this community is worth what you build together, and I am grateful to be a part of it. So as you go here today, find all those little places of gratitude, whether it be the sun on a not 110-degree day, or the smile of a stranger, or the wag of a tail. Whatever you find gratitude in, it is always worth celebrating. Amen, shalom, salam, ashe, namaste, and blessed be. Go now in peace. May the light within you be a blessing to the world.
Or a cat on your lap. For some of us childless cat ladies. Vote, vote, vote. Okay, we're going to sing a closing circle song, but we're going to throw another change at you. I think you can handle this one. It's like we used to do it when Frank was here, and I'd forgotten about it, and many of us have. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to go to the salon after we sing the closing circle song, have something to eat, and visit with people. And then Casey's going to hit that gong bell in there like we used to, and then we can all, those of you who, what? As hard as you can. Those of you who are interested in the discussion afterwards, we'll all come back here and have a 15-minute discussion. I think it seemed to work well, and I'd forgotten about it and was reminded the other day that that's what we used to do, and it seemed to work well, so let's try it again. Okay, so closing circle song, if everybody's willing to stand up and hold hands, and don't breathe too hard if you don't have a mask.